Hi, my name is Tom Redman. I'm from Stetson University, and what I'd like to do today is talk to you about kids with learning disabilities. First, we're going to talk about what is a learning disability. Then, we're going to discuss what are the educational considerations associated with a child with a learning disability. And lastly, talk about some tools, most specifically assessment and its importance in diagnosing a child and using that to develop a plan for the child for their specific learning disability. First, I'd like to start by reading the federal definition of what a disability is. The term specific learning disability means a disorder in one or more of the basic psychological processes involved in understanding or in using language, spoken or written. This disorder may manifest itself in an imperfect ability to listen, think, speak, read, write, spell, or do mathematical calculations. It then lists specific disorders that are included, and these are brain injury, minimal brain dysfunction, dyslexia, and developmental aphasia. But it also states some disorders are specifically not included. And that's a learning problem that's primarily the result of a visual, hearing, or motor disability. If the child is mentally retarded, of emotional disturbance, or of an environmental, cultural, or economic disadvantage. So what types of problems would a learning disabled child have with reading? They would have problems with their decoding. They would have problems with their phonological or phonemic awareness. And without these three components, they can't have good reading fluency. Research has shown that overall reading fluency leads to bad comprehension, which means the children don't understand what they're reading. It's very important that this gets identified early. We may also see indicators in the written language, and that would be in their handwriting. Just because they have a handwriting problem doesn't mean they have a learning disability, but children with a learning disability usually present themselves with a handwriting, spelling, or composition problem, which is the creative side of writing. Now I'd like to talk about the math implications of a learning disability. Traditionally, reading, writing, and language have gotten a lot more emphasis than math. But right now, research has shown us that math disabilities are very close to reading disabilities in number, if not a close second. This is probably due to the technological age and the importance of math in our society today. The types of problems these learning disabled children would exhibit would be a problem in computing math facts or in doing word problems. The problem they usually have with word problems is they have not been taught good strategies. It's important that you teach the children strategies that they can use over and over when solving word problems. We only had a few minutes today to talk about learning disabilities. I hope now you understand the federal definition of a learning disability, what impact and in what subject area this impact would be shown for learning disabled children, and also what I feel is the most important point of this video, which is how do we assess our learning disabled children. I think the curriculum-based assessment is the only model that we should use to develop plans for learning disabled children or to identify if a child is learning disabled. And I hope that you've learned something today.